Sony and Honda had a baby. They called it a Fila, their electric car. Right on the front here, we have this amazing high-definition light bar where you can show different things like your battery percentage, life sports scores even, and even your hazards when you have them turned on, among many other things that you can customize yourself. Now let's take a look inside. Here, I'm greeted by 35 different cameras, one of which is going to detect me as a driver, and the door is going to open right as you walk up to the door. Now, inside, it looks like a luxurious living room. This entire massive panoramic screen is actually one screen, unlike on some other cars where they have different screens with bezels. No, this is one screen. You know, everyone wants to watch or listen to a different thing, but everyone's going to bother each other. Well, Sony thought of that because let's say if I want to play the Spider-Man movie, I can choose where the audio goes. If it goes to the front speakers here, I can choose it for the left rear passenger or the right rear passenger. How is that possible? Because each seat is equipped with its own speakers right over here. So you can listen to your own thing and not bother the person sitting next to you. It's not yet confirmed because this is a prototype if the wheel is going to be a yoke or an actual wheel, but I would love to see it like this because it will take away from the entertainment screen that we see here if we had an actual wheel covering it up. Now, I love that they have the physical buttons here as opposed to something capacitive because as a driver, I don't want to be distracted. I want to be able to control everything, and sometimes it's hard to touch over here and reach over, so I don't want to be distracted. This is right at arm's length as I'm driving here, and it has a little wheel that depending on what you're doing, if I'm listening to something, if I turn the wheel, it adjusts the volume. But if I'm in the navigation, for example, it'll move the map around. You might be asking yourself, what is this doing here? Well, when you're sitting there charging the car, or if you're just hanging out, you can listen to music, you can watch movies, you can also play your PlayStation via cloud gaming right on the screen. Let's say if I'm listening to music and I don't want to be distracted, I can take this music screen, or even if I'm watching a movie, take it from up here, throw it over to the passenger, and let the passenger be distracted because they're not driving. Because this is an entertainment car and it kind of looks like a living room. You can set your own aura by changing the theme. So let me show you how that works. You have different themes built into it. Let's say we want to choose a Spider-Man theme. If we apply it, watch how the lights in the entire cabin and even in the back, watch how the lights change and the mood changes of the entire car. Now, in the back, I'm 6'2", I'm sitting down, my head isn't touching the glass, so I still have some space there, and that's because the seats are kind of slanted, they're not straight. In some cars, they're a little bit straight, and if it's a small car, you might have some trouble if you're a little bit tall, but not in this one. You have the panoramic glass roof, which helps, which gives it a couple of inches, and the space is great. You also have the screens that I talked about, so you can choose, each individual person can choose what they listen to, what they watch, and what they do on their individual screens. And even back here, you still have the speakers right on the seats. So the person next to me could be watching a movie and listening to their own thing, and they're not distracting me from doing what I want to do. Maybe I want to play the PlayStation on this side, and I don't want to distract anybody else. Besides the front, you also have a light bar back here, which will show the same thing that you chose there, but in a different capacity, because it's a little bit of a